November, this IG live happens, and it was just from the outside and not knowing what was going on in your personal life. It was hard to watch. You know what I mean? It was like shocking. What could you tell us about what was happening that day for you?
I would say me and him were in a very bad place in our relationship. I had left before that. Like, there was a time where I left before that, and then we tried to work things out, so I came back again. So I was living there for the 3 months, and my baby was born in Charlotte. So it was just a bad time, bad everything.
Yeah.
Like, we were just really going through it, and, you know, a lot of things were said, a lot of things came out that night.
In front of everybody.
Right. We were, like, I'll admit, we were pretty lit. I was drinking a bottle of wine, like, and so, yeah.
It was November. This
Came out on that live for sure, and yeah, it was very triggering and very sad. I wish it didn't happen because I don't want my baby to see that later on in life, but she'll grow to be her own person and be able to take things in, and yeah.
What will you tell her about that day, about what was happening? Have you thought about that?
I have thought about that, but it also, I feel like, just depends on the type of person she grows up to be. Like, the only responsibility I have is to, you know, just raise her to be a strong woman, and she'll feel how she feels. I feel like she's her own person, so. Came out on that live for sure, and well, me and baby have been talking for about, or been together for about like 3 years on and off. We started talking like September 2019, so it was toxic. You know, we had our really good times, and
I was gonna say, it doesn't ever start toxic.
No, we were like this in the beginning. Like, we were in love, like that honeymoon phase. Like, you know, it was really good. We both were kind of at our peak of our careers too. Like, I had Rolling Loud, he had Rolling Loud the next day. Like, it was just always like, we were always both so busy. I had Fashion Week. Like, it was intriguing for both of us to be like, you know, doing good, and like we would be supporting each other. So it was good. And then, of course, he had his little mess ups and stuff. So we'd break up for a month and then get back together. And then again, we'd break up. We broke up a lot.
Yeah.
There was a lot of on and offs going on. But during that time, I definitely wasn't his side piece. And he knows that too. But, well, me and baby have been talking for about, or been together for about like 3. I felt like when I spoke to him, he told me like, the night before, I was doing the most when it comes to like crying and all this stuff, how I felt. And I guess he said what he said out of anger and try to make me look bad, I guess. I don't know.
So that moment happens. Can you even
Right.
Can you even believe it while it's happening? Like, what are you thinking while it's happening? I know you said you're drinking wine and stuff, and you.
Oh, that night, the first night.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was wild. It was definitely wild. It was very selfish, being that I just had our baby. Like, it was very selfish. And
does he apologize to you?
No.
Really?
He's just like that, though. As you can see, you see in his interview, he said, does he regret anything? He said, nope. I live life without regrets as well. But if there's something I could take back, I feel like, or handle differently, like I will say that. Like, I felt like when I spoke to him, he told me like the night before, I was doing the most when it comes to accountability. Like, that's maturity, especially take away everything else. It's like we have a kid together, like, so.
So where are you now? Like, what's your relationship like now? Because you do have a kid together. I mean.
Right. It's a big challenge, honestly. Anybody I've ever dated, like, I've never been friends with. Like, I'll block them. Like, I would never hear from them.
You go to I love you to don't ever talk to me again.
I'm just like that. Like, I'll cut you off and never see you. You're not part of my life anymore. So it's definitely been a challenge to, like, have to keep this relationship and friendship whenever it becomes that. But I feel like it's a challenge on my maturity as well. So I like it because it's like, okay, obviously the relationship is way different now, and it's like you can't get emotional, like you can't, you know, so just working through it. It's a little hard, but something I'm learning.
How's the co-parenting going?
Right, like that.
Can you do it? I mean, like, have you been?
We've been doing it. You know, I mean, we live in different places, so
it's hard, right?
Yeah.
It's over.
I know it sounds crazy, but I feel like it almost had to go there, like for me to let go.
Why?
I mean, maybe not had to go there, but
You were in it.
I was in it. Like,
You were in
who
love.
knows if I would have like stayed if we weren't on live. Like, I don't know. Like, there had been so many chances that I gave, but now like I've just learned and grown so much that I'm just like, okay, I've just learned to love myself so much more, because I feel like I really did love him so much that I was just giving it all to him, all my focus. I didn't even focus on my career. The past 2 years I haven't really done anything with my music or nothing. So yeah, it's definitely over.
It's hard, right?
Yeah.
It's over.
I know it sounds crazy, but I feel like it almost had to.
Have a relationship with that type of, I don't know. I guess I'm asking, would you do something differently now, knowing and experiencing that? And
Yeah, I think the first time he showed me or cheated on me, played me, I would have left him.
really,
Yeah. It wasn't.
and why didn't you?
Man, I don't know.